girl, it's you and I. Baby, I won't leave your side.
And I'm your TP, I'm the beach, you're the bikini, the remote control, you're the TV, DVD player, I'm the CD. I can see us closer than 3D. Girl, your love is sweeter than kiwi. I can be your Adam, you can be Eve. I'm gonna bite that apple, believe me. I've been searching hard for your love, like a miner digging for gold. And if haters were the ocean, we would stay afloat with the boats. And if you were 4 tires, I would let you ride on my road. If I were your stripper pole, would you work me until I'm rusty and old?
Oh yeah, right. You my ride or die. Like a diamond, we will shine. Right. Baby girl, it's you and I. Baby, I won't leave your side. Right. You my ride or die. Like a diamond, we will shine. Right. Baby girl, it's you and I. Baby, I won't leave your side.
Angel face with angel eyes, you must be heaven sent. Our hearts had a collision and it, mind you, left a dent. This love is meant to happen, girl, it's not an accident. So if you give me your heart, I promise I will represent. You're my pieces, I'm your puzzle. You're my rain, I'm your puddles. You're my teddy bear like Snuggles. If it's team us, let's huddle. We can be strength in life struggles. You're my red nose with no muzzle. I can be the product, you can be the dollars. Girl, let's orchestrate this hustle.
Oh yeah, right. Girl, you my ride or die. Like a diamond, we will shine. Right. Baby girl, it's you and I. Yeah. Baby, I won't leave your side. Right. You my ride or die. Like a diamond, we will shine. Right. Baby girl, it's you and I. Yeah. Baby, I won't leave your side.
I am directions, you would be the destination. If I were an employer, would you choose my occupation? I must be a shovel, cause I'm digging you penetration. Girl, your love's got a hold.
Yeah, beats.
They say I love money, baby. Oh, you say you love money, baby. So many say they can't love money, penny. They can't love money, penny. You love enough, penny. Well, I want the money can do. What the money can do. What the money can do. What the money can do. Well, I want the money can do. What the money can do. What the money can do. What the money can do. I put my money in the red bank. Before I was buying the money, I don't see my money in the red bank. Hey, yeah. I never see it from Bangladesh. They can't love my style, but the money can concentrate them. Hey, yeah. Please my head, please my oh. How did I now please my head? Please my head, please my oh. How did I now please my head? I never be a dabuna. You a dabuna. You never be a dabuna. You don't get more like you want a dabuna. Una pay you call. Looking for it, looking for it. And see money back here, I can see that to the heart. Looking for it, looking for it. I never be a dabuna. You a dabuna. You never be a dabuna. You don't get more like you want a dabuna. What the money can do? 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 Well, what the money can do? 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 That's about just I can't pull out my bag. I can't say catch a quack. Monkey go up, monkey hard to calm down. Monkey calm down, monkey calm down. If my kabagi, they say you want me calm down. Monkey calm down, monkey calm down. Money for hair, baba ground. Monkey calm down, monkey calm down. Y'all monkey sweat, say now I calm down. Monkey calm down. What the money can do? 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 Well, what the money can do? What the money can do? What the money can do? What the money can do?
If I got problems,
relationship now among them. And if they want me again, you're the only one I want. All of them, now they want my Betty, oh yeah. She wanna see romance, oh yeah. Her body's so interesting, oh yeah. She get it back from big testing, oh yeah. Falling hard for you, oh yeah. Hard comes to, oh yeah. My back to, oh yeah. Feeling my back to, oh yeah. All of them, now they want my Betty, oh yeah. She wanna see romance, oh yeah. Her body's so interesting, oh yeah. She get it back from big testing, oh yeah. Darling, I'm for you, oh yeah. All for you, oh yeah. My back to, oh yeah. Are you feeling my back to, oh yeah. My baby tell me say, she love my style. She really wanna be the one to walk down. Let me down now if I ever break your heart. If I ever lie, if I ever leave you, let me bow. Everything going on, you the only one who keeps me coming down. The way you give me peace of mind, I know say you don't ever wanna see me frown. Now they got love I'm looking for, do it anytime. Where you are, where you come from, where you from come. Son, I must not wanna compare. Oh, no, sorry, what she doesn't compare. Oh, no. Boy, if you force her to show yourself, she will lay you down flat, that's so bad. Oh, no. That's my baby, yeah. You can blow all your own race. That's my baby, yeah, yeah, yeah. All of them, now they want my Betty, oh yeah. She wanna see romance, oh yeah. Her body's so interesting, oh yeah. She get it back from big testing, oh yeah. Falling hard for you, oh yeah. Hard comes to, oh yeah. My back to, oh yeah. Feeling my back to, oh yeah. All of them, now they want my Betty, oh yeah. She wanna see romance, oh yeah.
We sit and say for Ali exclusive.
I'm a mermaid. I don't like to play again for you. I can't lie to you. You know why? Because I want to spend the rest of my life with you. More come here, I take it pay. You will take it too. You know why? Because my when you look good. See your friend said that. I can represent my girl. Will you marry me?
Yes, I will.
Love and carry.
Yes, I will.
To love and to hold.
Yes, I will.
Reach up, oh.
Not too sure.
Will you marry me?
Yes, I will.
To love and to hold.
Yes, I will.
Reach up, oh.
Not too sure.
For the love,
Not
wow.
too yes, I will marry you. I will come here for you. If you give me a chance, I will cook for you. Now my head, I will carry you. Oh yes, I will marry you. I will come here for you. If you give me a chance, I will cook for you. Now my head, I will carry you.
The day you agree to marry me, now that day your story change. Because I will show you love. I will give you care. I will give you kabagi. Give you get a chicken hair. No flowers here we can't run. I will make you really you. Now not back at you. When you go we buy your home when they see you, respect. Now the only thing they will give you. The only thing you will lack. Now they go what you not ask me for. You won't feel your head at night. You won't play your notes. What you won't do? You won't go up to you. You won't go to places. Don't worry. You already get a mental story. Smile now. You can't hug me now. You want to kiss me anywhere. Go ahead and kiss me now.
They know that I want you. I can make it without you. Don't beat that can't do. The things you not do for me. Baby, can't let me play for you. I want that don't say like you. Can buy me all the good. Oh. Baby, can't let me play for you. I want that don't say like you. Can buy me all the good. Oh. Rub my body, baby. Kiss me in the public. Anytime you're ready, must say, do I am ready. Rub my body, baby. Kiss me in the public. Anytime you're ready, must say, do I am ready.
Will you marry me?
Yes, I will.
Love and carry.
Yes, I will.
To love and to hold.
Yes, I will.
Reach up, oh.
Not too sure.
Will you marry me?
Yes, I will.
To love and
We all know the headache we go through sending money to our loved ones, friends, and family in Liberia. High fees, long lines in banks, the usual complaint of the system being down, Such a waste of time and energy. That is why I was very happy when I learned that SendWave is now in Liberia. So now I can send money anytime from anywhere directly from my smartphone to the MTN Lone Star Cell mobile money account of a loved one, friend, or family within seconds for just a tiny fee. So download SendWave now to your phone from your Apple Store or Google Play Store. Add your details, and don't worry, they are very safe and secure, and start sending money today. Don't forget to insert the promo code COSTA to get free $5 credit added to your first transfer. SendWave is secure, super fast, and by far the most affordable way to send money to Liberia. I'm Henry P. Costa and a very happy customer. Thank you.
Drink with you, but you don't know their intention towards you. Some will laugh behind your back, some will stab you in the back. Later on, they come and appear to say that they are in favor of you. So, folks, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the weekend's edition of the Costa Morning Show. My name is Buakai Amara Kamara. I'm pretty seated here for you. I'm here alone. I'm here with Mr. Darlington Collins. Darlington Collins is in the United States of America, while I'm back home here in Liberia. It's a joint collaboration, and we are bringing you the 15th day of the 9-month edition of the Costa Show, with just 25 more days to go to the general and presidential election. Welcome to the Costa Show. We have a lot of things to look at, and at 11 o'clock or 10 past 11, we'll have a guest on this platform that will come and talk about peace. You know, as we head to the election, we'll be talking about peace, and peace is all that we need. Let me say good morning, Darlington, and let me see. We'll talk to Sam P.K. Collins. Sam P.K. Collins is a peace advocate based in the U.S. He will join us at 11 o'clock as we put towards peace in Liberia as we head to the election. Darlington, good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning, Buakai, and good morning to our listeners. It's nice to be on this Friday's presentation of the show.
So, man, where are you joining us from? We want to know where you joining us from.
Well, I'm joining you from the Twin City of Minnesota.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you just want me to disclose my yeah. So my family people who out here and say, I mean, you call. But anyway, I'm joining you from the Twin City of Minnesota. Be brother, Bommy, don't come for me. I will definitely follow you.
All right, so Darlington, we are left with 25 days to go to the general and presidential election, and but before we go into that, there are a few things that we need to look at, like we normally do here. We give you update about the former Chief Justice case there at the Supreme Court of Liberia, and something occurred yesterday at the in that case. Like OK is reporting, it's a team of defense lawyer, prosecutors, and court officers visited the murder scene of Shalom Musu as bloodstream remained on the floor, leading to the room of the defendant Scott and children. A team comprising of defense lawyers, prosecutors, and police and co-officers pay a visit to the scene of Shalom Musu death. The decision of the visit was on Thursday was a result of defense lawyer requesting to visit the crime scene and also do an independent autopsy that will be done on today on the remains of the late Shalom Musu. However, our judicial reporter visited the scene along with the team, observed total silence in the former Chief Justice compound with only the presence of dogs. Our reporter also observed bloodstream stay on the floor, leading to the defendant Scott room and bathroom, including another room believed to be the children's room. So that was what occurred yesterday. So they went there. They still see bloodstream on the floor, leading to former Chief Justice Gloria Musu Scott room, and in the bathroom, and also another room believed to be the room of the children. So that's what occurred yesterday, Darlington, in this case.
Yeah, and that search is basically from the ruling filed by the defendant party, the bill of information filed by her lawyers, where the judge granted that they visit the crime scene before September 15th to get a full understanding of what happened, and probably they went there again to basically. I'm very sure maybe the facts of this case right now might be in a very discovery stage of things. Maybe they're on the trial note side where they want to go there and reassess the crime scene and make analysis, and what people, expert witnesses, will probably make analysis about the possibility if the house is this amount of square feet when something happened, just making the different legal arguments, right? Expert witness, law enforcement officers could possibly be expert witness. Also in this case, it is also reported here in the media that the state prosecuting witness contradicted herself in the indictment in Shalamusu. So I also want to read. Yes. So it says state prosecuting witness testified in an ongoing murder case involving former Chief Justice Gloria Musu Scott and 3 others have contradicted some major aspects of the indictment. The case resolves around the murder charges brought against Councilor Gloria Musu Scott and her co-defendants who were accused of murder, criminal conspiracy, and raising false alarm. The alleged incident occurred on February 22nd, 2023, where Councilor Scott reported that a strange man attacked her family, leading to the death of her daughter, Shala Musu. However, during the trial, some of the witnesses presented conflicting accounts compared to what were outlined in the indictment. On Tuesday, September 13, state prosecuting witnesses Amos Wright, a security guard from Genesis Security Guard Services, and businessman Obawa testified, corroborating Councilor Musu Scott's statement or that an unidentified individual was present in her home on the night of Shala Musu murder. Moses Wright, who was also the boss of Zion Tar, the prosecution first witness, stated that he had no knowledge of the situation on the night of the incident. However, according to Zion Tar, he had informed Moses, his commander, after Gertrude Stream for help. The indictment stated, after hearing co-defendant Gertrude Stream, that someone was on them. Security Zion Tar left and called security Moses Wright, who is also his commander. Wright claimed that he handed over the keys to Councilor Gloria Scott car to the mechanic after distancing himself from the scene. The contradictor in the indictment, we stated that some individual who received the keys from Councilor Scott transported the victim to the hospital. Wright explained that he's a trusted man with the keys because he was dressed like a mechanic. I don't know. Hold on one second, right? So he did this right. The paper is quoting. I don't know, but seeing in mechanic clothes, I trusted him. He said when asked in the court. So he said he gave this key to this guy who was also in mechanic code. The indictment reads, one of the community member in person of Amara Tuawale, who entered the house, told police and investigator that the friend of OG Prof asked defendant Scott for her car keys, but later gave it to one Moba, who took the victim to the hospital. In his testimony, Wright also asserted that he knew all of the occupants of the former Chief Justice's home, including the individual who was in question was unfamiliar to him. Similarly, the state prosecution's second witness on September 13 stated that another unknown person brought Shala Musu out of the house and took her to the hospital. He noted that he was hired on February 5th to the 14th and 25th to provide security at the residence of Councilor Scott and had no prior knowledge of the event of February 8 and February 9. He stated while Zarenta was breaking the window, he did not hear any noise, later observed unfamiliar person in the compound. These testimony conflicts with the indictment which implicate the defendant in the murder. According to the indictment, a neighbor named Amara Trawale claimed that Councillor Scott have given her car key to Trawale, her friend identified as OG Prof, to transport the victim to the hospital. However, in court, Wright stated that he was in the possession of the keys, with Wright later handing them over to a man dressed as a mechanic. Well, I don't want to go through all of the readings, but basically, Boyka, you hearing the prosecution witness, with the different prosecution witnesses that took the stand is very tough, especially in criminal cases, because the standard of bringing down a guilty verdict is beyond reasonable doubt, right? If this was a civil matter, the standard is the preponderance of the evidence, where evidence that appears to be true with some truism attached to it, you could possibly get an indictment in a civil case. But in a criminal matter, the prosecution will have to show beyond all reasonable doubt that Councillor Gloria Musu Scott is the culprit. She's the one who murdered Charlotte Musu. So it's not that easy to prove, especially with the indictment drawn from circumstantial evidence, the circumstances surrounding the allegations pointing out to somebody who possibly might have been involved in the murder, where there is no link of direct or physical evidence into this case. To come down with a guilty verdict is not easy. Legal students will tell you that it will be a roller coaster ride. I mean, they might have Councillor Scott being barred there for a few times. I mean, if she did it, it will require a whole lot to prove. The prosecution will have to, of course, they have to prep the whole facts of the case. I don't know whether they might even open a retrial, maybe to try the case again, because the fact that you have witnesses contradicting themselves and that is reflected in the records of the court, I think is dangerous, for the prosecution. And we want to see the family of Charlotte Musu get justice, But again, the standard for murder cases is a very tough one to prove, because it's a criminal case, It's a beyond all reasonable doubt, meaning there should be no doubt that should exist in the minds of the jurors. No doubt that person is criminally, liable for the crime that they have been, they stand accused of.
So, folks, that's it. We normally update you on this case because we are following closely, and that's what we do here every day. We'll update you on the happenings there at the Supreme Court. So, yesterday they went on a crime scene. Today, an autopsy will be conducted again. The second autopsy will be conducted on the body of the late Charlotte Musu. So, as things unfold, Monday morning we'll give you the happenings again that will happen throughout the weekend. So we have to transition to another thing. Darlington, this drugs case is still, a lot of it's still trending. A lot of things are happening. They say the real consignee of the smuggled drugs was arrested. That's according to Front Page Africa I'm looking at here this morning. According to them, Front Page Africa has confirmed the arrest of Stephen S. Daniels, an employee of the Ministry of Posts and Telecommunication, in connection to the drugs that were brought or smuggled from the Rabos International Airport. Daniel has been identified as the consignee who flew the drugs into Liberia via Kenyan Airway on August 31st, 2023. So, Darlington, third person, we have a third party now. The first one was the head of a security at the Rabos International Airport. The second was the guy from a Just Travel Agency, now an employee from the Post and Telecommunication, according to investigation, whose who is the concernee of this consignment is being brought forth by this investigation?
Well, Booker, I mean, I don't know how serious the state is in terms of investigating this, but already it's been speculated in the media that this drug was the consignee, was some big backups. We're accusing fingers at the executive, particularly Madam Fina Bono has been named into this allegation. And Booker, I was going through the different media outlets. The Liberian media need to do a little bit better in terms of how they read their editorials. They go to these pro CDC terrain and they take the microphone to the street and then they say some Liberians are angry and defending Fina Bono. This should not be about a defense. It should be about the media writing editorial, challenging the Justice Department, to prosecute this case, to go to the bottom of it. It is nobody is saying that she is directly involved or she is the person who brought it into the country, but it is alleged, the armed forces of Liberia officers they probably need to speak with him, the joint security. If, Sam Freeman actually did mention Madame Bono's name, if it had just been rumored in the media and her name was not mentioned, we need to have some level of clarity on that. But when you read the editorials of these Liberian newspapers, it is just so disturbing. It's trying to, the media should not be trying to be the one to pass verdict to say this person is not guilty of this thing. The media should be fair. The media should report the issues as it is and call for an investigation, because now another person has been named as the consignee. Who knows where this thing is going to go? It is just passing in a cycle, looking for this person. Whoever these individuals are, whether they are talking about whether they are talking about whether they are arrested the former security chief, whether they are not arresting a new person. The thing is the culture of impunity. Whether the state is interested in actually holding them accountable. Because we'll just hear about this case for a few while, maybe it will be in the media this weekend, and then possibly next week, and maybe it will trend the whole of September. And then next thing you know, again, maybe the Unity Party launch on the 17th, they were talking about the Unity Party crowd will be making all the analysis. And then before we forget about this drug matter. So the Ministry of Justice should even hold a full-scale press conference and tell us who are those persons of interest that they are inviting to the investigation. Because they cannot exempt certain individuals. If Madame Bono has been mentioned, nobody is saying that she did it. Well, it is only fair that she go to the police headquarters, and answer a question. It is only fair for that. Let the police invite her to for questioning.
Yeah, but Daniel, I think the case is very easy to know who brought in this consignment, because everything is there at the LRA from the Roberts International Airport. They just need to update the public. LRA need to have a press conference, let the Liberian people know there's the person that brought in this consignment, there's the person, there's the airway bill, just to be on top of the game. But here we are, up to now, LRA, there's no information from them. Custom at the airport, no information. We are just only they say and I say and whatsoever thing. Yesterday, we're here on the platform. We said we're not going to buy into some airway bill that are published by other media institutions, because we are still trying to find out. Now here, Dana Bray again today, we back here. We are hearing another thing. We are hearing that the person that is behind this consignment, the corporate, is being brought to book now. So what becomes of the thing that we're talking about yesterday? So all of the documents that we saw flying on social media, and even the statement from the previous statement from the head of security. So now things are changing around. Things are turning to leave from the Fina Bono angle to another person's here now. So you see, we have to be careful in this case on how we go about discussing it and how we go about making decision on the case, because it is not clear. It is not clear yet. The main culprit of this drugs importation, once the person is brought to book, then we can know the person will name whosoever that got involved, then we can move on. But now we are only looking at this. They say, I say, people bringing up airway bill, the other person bringing out another airway bill. Everything is fluttering through the air, Darlington.
Yeah, everything is just, and that's why I agree with you. And that's why you said we should be very careful how, we report on this case, because it is just 1 minute we saw another document, with Finabono name on it, whether it was misspelled, that's another conversation. Another minute, the authorities, they are telling us they found another consignee. So which document they actually used to find this new person? The LRA may not be a political arm or, a news agency to come and speak, but I'm sure the LRA have the public affairs department. If a consignment in the country is sparking serious debate in the press, the best the LRA can do through a public affairs department is to come and clearly air to say consignment number 0025 was brought into the country by Mr. Daniel Collins. There's the air bill tag and blah blah blah. Mr. Collins paid for his cargo. You update the public, but these public corporations they are not very proactive. So one thing about there's a lot of skepticism around whether the citizens going to believe the government, even if they do investigate, right? Because a lot of accusing fingers is been pointing towards the King's table, people around Mr. George Weah. So, and Bwega, you see that the people say, as you make your bed, so shall you lie on it. This government, from the beginning stages of that regime, the culture of impunity have continued to peddle throughout the regime. So that's why the country is the way it is, Bwega. When people closer to the presidency, have been accused of something, the president don't take action. The president don't show, zero tolerance to those things. The president don't investigate these things. The president don't show that he's righteously angry about these things. The president, in fact, will come in their defense. The auditors die here. While the investigator was even investigating, the president went to the media and said the people are doing man and woman business on Broad Street. Drug into the country, the president go to Bon County. He said, we're not bringing kush. He gets smoke kush. We don't know what they call kush. But Mr. President, have you taken time to go to the DEA so you can have an idea of what kush is, the damage it's causing to the young people? So they think about credibility. Even if the LRA releases a document, work out. Once the public perception have Darlington Collins, for example, in mind as the one who brought in the drugs into the country, the public mind is going to be fixated on nothing more, nothing less, but they want to hear Darlington Collins. Maybe Darlington Collins is innocent. But once the public tell out their mind to say, once the people say that Darlington Collins bring the drug, possibly that's Darlington Collins. But that's why a regime must show seriousness and it must be fair with these kinds of things. But unfortunately, Bweka, people around the circumference of the presidency have used their executive powers for all kinds of stuff in the country. What happened to the death of Mervyn Early in Nimba, the EPS special agent? Up to today's date, that investigation has not seen a lot of day. I mean, a lot of mysterious things are happening under Mr. Weah, and people are just so afraid, to speak out because of the credibility of the regime. Even Musa Dean, who is the Minister of Justice. When you see the mayor who is the de facto Minister of Justice, when you see Justin Koji blasting you feel sorry for him. I know, like, the forcing him on the job. But you will not take your time. All these years you go to law school, only for you to answer and be yelled at by unsophisticated Monrovia City mayor who will be blasting at you, who don't even know what it is to even write a public exam. You went to law school, you wrote the bar, you served many years of this, only for you to come here, you the government chief prosecutor with no boss. You can't even open up no investigation. It all begins, and that is where the country is. When they talk, they put one or two go to CDC, the being, they were saying the people are law unto themselves. So total anarchy, Bweka. So this drug case is just going to be one of these cases that we'll talk about. I hope they may call a few names here and there, but I don't know how far they intend to prosecute these cases or they intend to go after this particular drug case.
And Darlington, the case come in a time that we are in a campaign season, so the government have to do everything to bring those that are behind this case to book, because it may play on them politically. Because the first accusing finger was directed directly at the king's table, like you said. So
Yep.
if they don't do everything to come up with a logical conclusion of this case, it may just leave on them. So they have to do everything to investigate the case and things move on directly. So Dainto, yesterday the collaborating political party, Mr. Alexander Cummings, launched his
just before we talk about the CPP book, I just hold on there. What is this thing I'm seeing on social media about this American national who, allegedly brutalized or slashed off the throat of this Liberian lady? You have any development in that regards? I'm told he's arrested by the authorities.
Yeah. He's arrested at the Simple Bridge police station, there where he is now. But they were into an affair. I don't know if they we have a 5-minute clip here of mother speaking to the press.
Yeah, seeing the pictures is very gruesome. I don't know.
Yeah, not a picture, but I say she was speaking. The mother was speaking to the press about the issue and how they got involved with each other, the American man and the little girl. So I don't know if you want for us to play it.
Yeah, we can play before we talk about the CPP launch in Maggie Bay.
Yep. So let me go to it this morning. All right, this is the mother of
American car, Lucas Richard, a missionary in Cape Mount, and my children on the tomb. What tell you MF on the how and where my children is, 2 of them. So he went there to go teach his son, my daughter, if you're in love.
This is the mother of the girl.
Married this girl. So he went, she told me she engaged me on it. I said, okay, if you love me, no problem. She said, Mama, you got a wife. So I said, then what? And where my children is, 2 of them. So he went there to go teach his son, my daughter, if you're in love with her. He said, he went to marry this girl. So he went, she told me she engaged me on it. I said, okay, if you love me, no problem. She said, Mama, you got a wife. So I said, then why now? Why he was saying he won't marry you a wife? No. He said he told a wife agreed to go, hey, he wants second wife because the woman he marries an older woman. So I said, okay, if you love me then, y'all can come over, then he bring you to see the family. So she said, okay. So later on, after 1 week, 2 other king. Now you are hiding there for the people on the mission and hiding there for your wife. And now you allowed to also enjoy your wife. So later on, the king to the house visited us. The other few family members that were there. We thought, he said, oh, I want to do a tradition. So I said, okay, he did a tradition. After the tradition, took picture and he said, oh, I want to go and come back to go to the court for us to get our document. I said, okay. She said, but I want to be in sin because I'm a Christian. And we say, I'm paying the dollar first. I said, okay. So I go, no. The children, they carry them out for outreach. So later on, the last day they went out in Cape Mount to a area. So they were there. The house she comes and said, Mama, it looked like I'm pregnant. So I said, oh, okay, when you come to town, then we'll go to the hospital to go check it up. So I said, you told Lucas? He said, yes. Lucas happy about it. So went to the hospital. She came to town after the program. They came to town. When they went back on the mission, they went back on the mission. They said, Lucas, Jessica will not march because they get information like Jessica and Lucas going on. So she told me, so I said, oh, but I thought Lucas, the people on the mission, you know about it. But anyway, she said, Mama, come for me. She said, I'm marching. So I said, okay, I'll come for you. They said, even my brother know but they said my brother will not march until the end of 2 weeks. I said, okay, they'll come on. So I went for the sister that evening, said you were sleeping on the mission. So my ATM myself went for her, we brought her in the keke, we went for Chata keke, we went for her. Okay, after 2 weeks in Cape Mount, he visited us. He said, oh, I will find an apartment with everything in there before going to the States. So I said, to find an apartment, it will be hard for now. So what we do, that should be with me. So in our own place, you can go and come, or you come back, or you can send the money. Then we can find a place. He came that evening when he came. They went inside. Now they get a guy back to here to the hospital. Went to the hospital and said she was confirmed that she was pregnant. So they gave her medicine and thing. They say, oh, they did her ultrasound. They say, yeah, got two better there. They did her ultrasound. They say, yeah, she's pregnant for two. The better was there, but they let it moving. So the pregnant said, move. Then he went. That means our intention, he needed to do it.
You mean he Lucas?
He Lucas
was the
himself.
cause of the pregnancy?
Yes, he did one injection in the thing. So that night, I called her back. I said, oh, Lucas gave Jessica injection, but he said, oh, her legs weak and she bleeding. So he said, you sure you do it intentionally? I said, I don't want to believe that because the way he can behave, like he's so lawful, taking cherishing the family. So I go low. Today, after feet and Lucas said, I'm coming to the key today. I was just telling you I saw the car. He said, they want to share in their apartment. They may be asking him to take him on the airport. So you come today. No, the man said, "Listen, you're taking on the airport now."
Okay.
So you are coming today. He postponed the trip today. So after she came about note, she said, "Oh man, Lucas taxi one and all." We say coming. So Lucas King was saying that if for the horse, the king went inside. The Jessica King outside to the car too, and then went inside. When they went inside the truck, Jessica got in the car. Inside the horse. Got in the car. He said, oh, for what's up, if I see the plan, this will never happen. Say the question, say, Mommy, I'm very sorry for what happened. I know what I can say, but I'm sorry. I think that he feels so. I will let it be done. So he went inside to her. When they finish talking, the two of them got in the car. When they got in the car, they left. As soon as they left, I said, I got back. I went to church. And the church closed on me. I time my lap. After the transfer, in Josephine. I went to church after service. While I was coming back, because as soon as I went, they almost said, no, long time today, that short time. The person who had been there, so after we praying, I pay my offering and thing.
Which means no long service.
No long service. Yes. So while I was on my way coming back, and I very never the better move, I was rushing to the home clinic. That's the time. Before I came here, I came to home clinic at night. We had to patient shop. They said, they want to take on to the TSC. I said, no, let me call hospital first. But I couldn't get in, I couldn't get in. Later on, I started texting, Jessica texting, say, oh, I'm really just like acting like so feeling bad.
Okay.
Yes. So when I came on the back coming for service, then I saw the car out there left me for almost 30 minutes or 44 minutes. I saw the car passing by me to try and mark it. So I said, oh, boy, Jessica and Lucas, worry out. Maybe that in the estate area going fast so I could sit down. So I went home. I said, in for the horse. My agent was poking from my brother. He said, you want to food, so she was poking. So I said, AC, I saw Lucas and Jessica in the car just about there. AC said, but I was left there. Why are they going to one side? So in less 30 minutes, I saw Keke coming in the yard with blood. My brother was blood up. The first thing I went to my mom, I thought accident. I said, what happened? She said, you shouldn't tell my mom, she's an asthma patient, you're cool water. I said, what happened? The first time, so my son-in-law, the children said the can't boss son-in-law was cutting her throat. Carry her in the bush, hit her for the back, you are cutting her throat. And one ball was passing, one can get ball. Healthy, I don't know about ball, can get ball. Healthy was turning for the back, but the boss was cutting the throat. Well, they were unconscious. They had the ball hitting for the back. The people start coming around, he joined the car. They speed about the net, they say, let's talk about small speed.
So the Lucas person in question, is he a Liberian or is he a foreign?
American man.
White or black man?
White man. Typical American white man. I'm talking about so, my brother. People were on the tradition wearing, I've got a picture and thing. In my daughter phone with.
All right, so Darlington, that's the mother giving every background on how things started with Lucas and Jessica and what occurred yesterday in this oh
yeah,
God.
It's very sad, Wega. Very, very sad.
Yeah,
let me say this to our women back home, our sisters, please. There's no way somebody is going to be married in the United States and tell you they should have another marriage ceremony in Liberia and they will try to get court paperwork it doesn't work that way. So mothers, mothers need to hold on to their child. It's very sad that this American national who knows, probably he was taking advantage of a third world country. He probably thought he was going to get away. That was going to be one of those movies, where people go to third world country and do horrible stuff. I don't know. I'm told, and it's good that that motorboy guy is a hero. In other countries, Boyka, and that's what make Liberia just the way it is. In other countries, the governor or the mayor of that place, maybe the president will probably give that guy deserve a national recognition. That was very heroic, to have hit him with a motorbike and come in defense of that sister who, could have possibly been dead. And I don't know, his intention was to kill her, probably leave her somewhere in the bush. And it's Liberia now. Nobody is going to, LMP investigation does not invite a white suspect. They will probably invite him here and there, but they'll probably not uncover anything. But I'm also hearing that the Americans might be preparing an extradition request for him. Liberia and America has that treaty because he's an American citizen. They may say they want to prosecute him within their jurisdiction. We don't know, even though it happened in Liberia. Maybe we are with the American embassy to probably speak to this. Maybe the Public Affairs Department of the U.S. Embassy will probably issue a statement. And maybe America is requesting through their Department of Justice or wherever he lives to probably, having, back here, maybe to answer a question, maybe in federal courts, to his charge of attempted murder. And I think American jurisdiction will probably be the best one for him. They shouldn't, probably try to hold him in Liberia because it will be another talk. Let him bring the guy here, to face justice in America because it's no play yet. Whatever you do, they will hold you accountable. They will extract the different evidence. They need evidences, rather take pictures and stuff. They will gather possibly a witness statement. Who knows? Maybe if they bring the brother back here and this girl get well, maybe she might even be a witness to come to the United States to testify against him. And I think it's only fair that they bring him back to America to face injustice. It's very scary that these people will go under the guise of Christian missionaries and be involved into this kind of thing. What kind of nonsense is that? You go to Cape Mount, you say Christian missionary when you should be spreading the gospel, but you are there doing something sinister. It's very unfortunate.
And the guy is married. His wife is here also. So yeah. I don't know why is it like that. But then he fooled the people that he was going to marry the girl and make her second wife. Have we really seen that where people are lying, where women are lying another person to get married to the husband, making a second wife? It's my first time hearing that. So
where people don't play that, bro. They are far away from that. Far away from that. But hopefully, again, maybe the LMP will give us, a full-scale update. So let's keep our eyes on it. Maybe today the Liberian National Police may have a press conference to inform us. I'm sure the suspect is transferred to the Liberian National Police headquarters. Maybe he's there answering more questions. Maybe the U.S. Embassy may not request him to come to America to answer. Maybe they may say, well, he can face a Liberia, justice system and answer through Liberian courts. You never know, because again, it could be a question of jurisdiction. Maybe the U.S. could decide that he should be prosecuted in the Liberian jurisdiction under Liberian laws, and you never know. So we'll keep our eyes on that.
Yeah. So we'll take like 5 minutes to talk about this CPP thing. Then we'll take our guest, Sam P.K. Collins.
Okay.
Sam Collins will be here talking about peace, and this is what Darlington have interest in, the peace, maintaining the peace in our country as we head to election. So he and his team, they will be here talking about peace. But let's just take 5 minutes to look at, because we have to flag the hour before they post it. Oh, they hosted a program yesterday, and we'll talk about it today. So let's look at the program yesterday that occurred in Kakata, Magibi County by the CPP. You look at the turnout, and do you think it was a successful program for the CPP?
I think it was. On overall, it was successful. And the people from the CPP say, well, it was better we went to Magibi. It was a huge turnout for Ellis Cummings. And I think, again, we have criticized Ellis Cummings and the CPP for their campaign for not getting a lot of attraction. But they did pretty well in Maghibie County, and it's a good thing that political parties can decentralize their campaign rallies. Because Monrovia is just not Liberia. Because political parties come to power with that mindset that everything must be Monrovia, Mosorado County based. No, Monrovia is not Liberia. If you even want to launch your campaign rally, political parties, all around the world will choose different cities. But the only thing I'm advising to the CPP next time to look for much more, bigger capital cities, right? Or county capitals. You could go to, that is vote reach, politically significant, if you may. Want to see the CPP maybe in future election hosting their campaign rally in Lofa, maybe in Nimba, maybe in Bon County. Those are populated places, that people, that I would think that the CPP should probably visit, but you never know. Maybe Maghibie is their stronghold and they wanted to show a strength in Maghibie. So kudos to the CPP and Ellis Cummings did well by pulling the crowd. But again, Bweka, in these elections, every political party will pull crowd. The CDC pull their own crowd. The CPP pull their own crowd. The Unity Party will pull their own crowd. What matters most is on October 10, when the numbers come out and Mama will do election day special. Whole day will be on live. As the numbers come in, we'll present the numbers, we'll announce it, and we'll inform our people because the number is two things. It's either when you had a large crowd rally, it's either the number will number for you or the number will not just be numbering. So we'll come here and bring you it as it is. And kudos to the CPP and Mr. Ellis Cummings. I think they did extremely well.
Okay, so our CPP folks, we say congratulations for you guys launching your official campaign on yesterday. It was a successful one. So Sunday, the Unity Party will be launching.
I will get Mariah well dressed yesterday. Yeah, I just enjoy Mariah colors, but I'm gonna post that picture. Mariah know how to throw toy. Something about Mariah must be cool. Mariah was posting a picture yesterday, but it was nice to see the CPP people having their program. Kudos to them and the Ellis Cummings camp.
All right, so can we now bring on our guest?
Absolutely, yes, we can.
Yeah. So we now bringing on our guest on the show. Sam P.K. Collins and his team, Darlington, they are talking about peace. As we head to the elections, there is one thing that you and I have been pushing for is maintaining the peace, because it doesn't matter which political party win the election. The main problem here is that can we maintain the peace that we've been keeping for the past years since we left the Civil War? Is the major thing that should be our major talking point. And Sam P.K. Collins and his organization, his team, they are pushing for peaceful election as we head to the election. So Darlington, we thought it wise in bringing them on this morning and talk about this. And they have a music that is sending out the message of peace also. So Darlington, that's why we brought it on to talk about this.
Welcome, guys. Welcome to the Costa Show. I see your initiator is the Pan-African Federalist Movement, or what?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But I also want to acknowledge Brother Putu of the Liberia Hills Initiative. He's the main component on the ground.
Sam, your audio quality is coming very, thin.
Yeah.
If you can set it up a little bit, yeah.
Sure.
Your audio.
No problem. Give me 1 second.
Yeah. So, Sam setting up. Brother Putu, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Brother Boka and Darlington. Yes, is Brother Putu Gatakpo, phenom of the Liberia Hills Initiative. I'm also affiliated with the Pan-African Federalist Movement and a number of different grassroots organizations. And yes, today we'll be talking about, peace in this election season, Pan-Africanism as it relates to Liberia, and just some interesting things that we have to share with the Liberian people. So thank you all for having us on the program today.
Yep. So now, yes, Sam, if his audio is okay now, Sam.
All right, is my audio okay?
No, no, no. We are
Sam,
not getting a better.
you want to go out and probably are you using a headphone or something?
I'm not.
Yeah,
You want to
I think you should go out and then come back in. Let me just kick you out, and then when you ready,
just
you come
restart
back
the
in.
screen, right?
Yeah, you can yeah. Let's
How
see.
about
And also try phone. Let him
Yeah,
maybe try the phone. Okay.
the
Right.
phone. Yeah, yeah. So
I think yeah.
Brother Putu, tell us a little bit about your initiative. We are heading to the elections, and maintaining the peace is everybody's business. It's not just about a special political party. It's about Liberia maintaining the peace. So tell me about organization and what are you guys involved into?
Thank you very much there. So I also want to mention Brother Jaws, who is in Liberia right now, or also maybe trying to get in as well. So he's part of Liberia Hughes. The Liberia Hughes initiative is an initiative that was born out of the desire to see the Liberian people healed and reconciled after the war. And what we have been doing is over the years, we've been spreading awareness about peace, mental health, and reconciliation over the years since 2012, really. And what happens is, especially during the election season, we see that sometimes because of the emotions connected to the politics, emotions get tense, and we see that things can get out of hand. So what we are doing right now, we have a very strong campaign, if you will, One Republic campaign for Liberia Hughes, that is a message to the Liberian people, to the Liberian citizens, that says no matter what happens, no matter who wins, we have to maintain the peace, or else everything's spoiled. So we'll be sharing with you a little bit more details about that as we go along, but that's the general gist of what we are here for today.
Okay. Sam, you want to come in and tell us more about your initiative efforts and what you guys are focused on?
Yeah. Let me know if you can hear me now.
We can hear you, but it just, some little echo.
Sam, if you are
If you're using a computer, if it's not working, you can probably use the same link on your phone and probably see if it works.
yeah, just try to see link on your phone, then you'll be okay. So probably the computer is not good. Brother Putu, how long have you guys been into this? Because a lot of Liberian people want to know: is it a new organization that has been established, or you've been pushing for peace for a very long time? Let's look at how long have you been into it and how things been like for the institution.
Yeah, so we had our initial launching for this Liberia Hughes initiative in 2012, actually, and it was formed with the late Vicky Ward of the Ward Foundation. God rest her soul. She passed away a few years ago, and what happened is around that time. We recognized that a lot of people Liberians were starting to get on Facebook around that time, like the years leading up to 2012. And we noticed that every time people will get on Facebook, we'll see people fussing.
Right.
And we recognize, I don't know, y'all want to check Sam right now?
Yeah, we can check Sam and then hold you there.
Now. Yeah, I hope so. Sam?
I'm good now.
You're loud and clear, yes.
Okay. You're good. Okay, let's continue, Brother Putu.
Yeah, so we recognize that, with the comments and everything, we realized how important it was for Liberians to deal with the war situation, because there was so much messaging that was dealing with, this person killed my people. We recognized that we had to do something. We had to put an initiative forth that was going to uproot all the issues that we had with the war and put it in a way where we can see about healing and reconciling. So since 2012, during every election season and even in between the election cycle, what we do is we have programs, we have events, and that bring about the idea of peace, reconciliation, conflict resolution. We've done countless events across Liberia, in definitely in Monrovia, but also in Nimba, Bassa, and also other counties. And we've been able to help de-traumatize people and bring people, even bring people together over the last 12 years. So this election cycle is definitely something that we recognize that it is important for us to stress that message once again. And we'll explain why going into this program. So I'll allow Sam to
just
talk
before
as
Sam,
well.
just before Sam come and talk about what is initiated effort is going to be more focused on, I just wanted to ask Sam, as a Liberian, do you think, after our war, post-war era, do you think Liberian as a people we are reconciled? Do you see that when it's political times, there's hugely tension packed, and there should be, recipe for chaos and violence? Sam?
First of all, thanks for having me on the program, and I'm glad that we fixed the technical difficulties. To answer your question, Liberia has great potential to fulfill its vision that was set out in 1822 and 1847. It's up to the Liberian people, and it's up to us to unify as one and see ourselves as one people, rather than the glibbo man or the crew man or whoever else, or even what they call the settlers, the repatriates. We need to be on that unified front, and we also need to recognize who our true enemy is, our true enemy being neocolonialism. And that is a part of Liberian history that we have to reconcile. Oftentimes, just in my involvement in the diasporan community in the United States and in studying history, the Liberian people have been too dependent on the United States, and the relationship with the United States has been detrimental to Liberia, because by us not depending on ourselves and holding ourselves accountable, the United States has been able to use Liberia as a significant power base to advance its causes. So Liberians as a whole, we need to, and to answer your question, we need to hold each other accountable, and we need to do for self, and we need to, in doing for self, we need to recognize that we are one, and that we need to, in a sense, separate ourselves from the agenda of the United States so that we can advance our own cause as African people and be what Ghana is today. Not to say that Ghana is better than Liberia, but Ghana is the standard bearer for Pan-Africanism, and that's not by accident, but people often forget that Liberia was that place where African people from all over the world came to at one point in time. And we can get back to that position, but it's just that we are caught up. Go ahead.
Let me hold you there. I'm intrigued to stop you that far. Why you think, whenever the Pan-African story is told about the west coast of Africa, especially in West Africa, the Ghanaian story is always amplified over Liberia, because as a student of Pan-African political history to myself, I know that Liberia was initially the place, that Marcus Garvey chose, for free black slaves to go and go back home and just make it peaceful and call their home, but the Ghanaians have succeeded in terms of attracting the American diaspora, the African American, diaspora to Ghana as the hub of Pan-Africanism. A lot of Black Americans, African Americans are now educated more towards the history. How the Ghanaians have managed to do that to attract more tourists, to their place using Pan-Africanism and just the Ghanaian story when it's told about the year of the return, where the slaves went, to on the slave trade. It just intriguing, and African Americans want to come and embrace that culture. Not so much stories is told about, our Cape Monserrato. You're talking about, Maryland County, where settlers from Baltimore, Maryland, United States of America, repatriated and they are buried there. Yeah, their graves are still there. People can come there and you come, you see these very same images. You go to Maryland, you go to Cape Palmas, you go to these
John B. Rushmore.
Yeah, why is that our story when it's told is very so sad, and we have not risen up above that fray? Why?
I mean that goes back to the schisms between the settlers and the indigenous people. We haven't really settled that, and Samuel K. Doe was supposed to, apparently, but even he got tribalistic in his approach. So, you know, Ghana, and let's keep in mind that African Americans, when they were brought on the slave ships and brought to North America, they came from present day Ghana, present day Nigeria, Benin. So that region of West Africa, African Americans, they often trace it back to that area. But to your question, there's still some animosity, some deep-seated animosity between the settler population and the indigenous population, not keeping in mind that at this point we are so intermingled that a lot of us in our families have people who descend from both sides. And that settlers are Africans, regardless of whether they were there yesterday or they were there generations ago. We have to reconcile that. Once Liberia gets over that, then it can be a hub for repatriation. And we also got that Negro clause. The Negro clause in the Constitution is very, very important. We never really uphold that. In this whole discussion about dual citizenship and about, you know, we never uphold the Negro clause. Sierra Leone is giving out DNA tests now. If you have DNA connected to Sierra Leone, you could become a citizen. Ghana is giving citizenship to African Americans.
Do you consider that Negro clause has been racist? Because you black people leave Liberia, you come to America, you become, you know, citizens of America, you in a white man country. So why can people of Caucasian, you know, descent be citizens in Liberia?
I'll let Putu jump in after I say this. Liberia, by design, was supposed to be the black man and black woman's country. You know, the context of the time we were talking about, and like all throughout American history, there have been two sides of the debate, whether to stay and fight for freedom in America or whether to leave. So you had Marcus Garvey and W.E.B. Du Bois at one point, they were fighting, even though W.E.B. Du Bois later on copied Garvey and joined him. Then even before then, you have Frederick Douglass and Martin Delany, but it's always been a question. And the Negro clause protects us. You know, you made the point earlier about the white American missionary that harmed that woman. White people have always used any vehicle possible, even our own people to some extent, to harm us. So the Negro clause is a means of protection, because how can we unite with other people when we have not unified within ourselves first?
Indeed. Just to add on to and also bring up a point as far as why Liberia is not upheld in the same way as Ghana and other countries as it relates to Pan-Africanism. You know, when we talk about Pan-Africanism, I think, especially for the audience, some people may not be educated as to even what Pan-Africanism is, what it means, and its importance. But what Pan-Africanism means, basically, is the idea of Black people from around the world connecting with Black people from Africa, you know, and not seeing themselves as different. The reason why this Pan-Africanism came about is because once upon a time during the slavery days and colonialism, the European there was a white supremacy and European dominance. There was no African nation or Black nation that was strong during those times. Haiti ended up becoming, you know, the first Black republic, you know, in 1804. And then the first Black African republic in modern times ended up becoming Liberia. So it's important that Liberians always remember that was its initial reason for coming into being. Now, when Liberia became a country and the Negro Clause was put into place, what it ended up doing, what the Negro Clause itself was served as a protection for the region, the body that was in Liberia, because you know around that time the Europeans were coming in strong into Africa, taking over this place, taking over that place, and everything. And it was that Negro Clause and Liberia being a nation itself that stood the test of time and was able to protect and preserve the nation of Liberia during that time. And even into this time, where you see in other countries in South Africa, in Zimbabwe, where you have people of Europeans and European descent kicking out African people who are native and indigenous to that land. So you have a nation like Liberia where you have that Negro clause. It actually serves to protect the land.
But
you know,
you see, Putu, that is just dealing with the history about and the Pan-African history when the settlers came and wanted a black republic. Basically, as you guys have educated us about the Negro clause. But in contemporary times, when you talk about the Negro clause in Liberia, especially in our constitution where people of Caucasian descent cannot be citizens, it is more so leaning towards an economic survival conversation, right? Where Lebanese merchants, Indian business people are now in the country, they are taking over the economy. So the typical Liberian sees it as some form of protection where they cannot acquire land because on Liberian laws, people who are not Liberian citizens cannot also acquire land. So that's how the people who lease these land to these big companies, that's how they make money and stuff like that. So contemporarily, not so many of us see is at the original plan as there to protect the Negro race and stuff like that. Now it's more so leaning towards the struggle of economic survival and capital. So over time, the narratives or the conversation change and shifts. But again, I do agree with you, right? I mean, the truth is,
but it's the same thing, right?
Yeah, it's a whole lack of self-appreciating our history, and these things are not taught in schools, right? Except you're Liberian students and extremely eager to research Pan-Africanism, right? To want to understand the struggle of the Black race, the African people struggle and stuff like that. Again, how can we use, because the Pan-African struggle was more a unifying tool to unify people across the globe, and you guys know very, very so well. I mean, that struggle on the continent of Africa didn't last very long because Western imperialist powers, tried to crush those and undermine those efforts. There were talks about one Africa and so forth. I mean, how can we use that now to provide more enlightenment to our people? Because in Liberia, the truth of the matter is that there is still this conversation about tribe. There is still this conversation about religion. When you go to the store to swap your card, I'm sure they don't ask you for your tribe, Putu. All they want is your money.
Thanks so much. You are exactly right. And as you say, in contemporary times, it's still about economics and maintaining, leveraging your power, right? So what you guys are doing right now, having conversations like this on your platform is very, very, very important. And you see what has happened is after the colonial struggle went into, like they said, decolonization or the independence era in the 1950s and 1960s, where most of the other African nations got their independence. It wasn't that African nations became all of a sudden free. We went into an era that Kwame Nkrumah coined the term neocolonialism, which means it was not as blatant. It was still colonialism, but it was just that the world powers at that time found a way to integrate the African nations into the new economy at that time. And they did so in a way where they would still have the African nations at the bottom of the totem pole, when it comes to global politics. So in doing that now, we need to share and educate our people as to what's really going on globally and economically. The Western and other imperialist countries, they often use politics. They often use elections to divide and to control the direction of our people. Sometimes we think our elections are, just free and we just doing our thing, but we don't often look at how our elections in Liberia or in Africa in general are actually influenced by outside nations, companies, and investors. We don't put that. We don't take that into consideration. We just look at it from a tribalistic way.
We beg for everything. The Americans pay for our elections. We are not economic, sufficient enough to conduct our own democracy.
I think we can be. I think that Liberia has enough.
We have the potential, though. We have the potential, but again, So let us narrow down.
Can I make a point though? I think a small point is I think there's a way for us to be proud of our various native and tribes or social ethnic groups, whether you Grebo man with the Pambada or Nimba and you like GB. We can embrace our different tribes, but when we come together and speak as a nation, we have to recognize that we are all unified. We can appreciate the uniqueness of our various cultural backgrounds. We don't have to abandon it, but when the problem becomes is when we try to become tribalistic and put one tribe over the other, you know what I mean, and use it to go against each other. That's the problem there.
So there's this question. You guys been in existence since 2012. I stand to be corrected. The 2017 election. Did you guys preach similar message that is being preached now for the 2023 election? Because as we head to the election, there is need that we initiate such conversation because we have to push for peace. And we are heading to election. The tension is too much in the country.
Very high. Yep.
Yeah. What have been some of the messages you guys have been putting out to the Liberian people and political leaders? We know there's a document signed by political leaders at Farmington. If you guys do know about that, is it so important for us? What have you guys been observing lately when it comes to peace in our country as we head to the elections?
Yeah, thanks. That's a great question. I'm not sure who asked that, but it's a great question. In the fact, as I said, 2012 we officially launched, but even in 2011, before we had the name, we were there was an election year. We were active, but 2012 the name came. But so certainly by 2017, very much so, we were active on social media and on the ground. As you know, that was a very, very tense situation as well that went right down to the last wire. We made messages directly to all the different candidates at that time to use their platform and to enlighten their supporters. It's not just only to say, oh, we're going one round or we're going to win. Also, let your people know as a candidate that if this is the democracy, right, there's a chance that we may not win, right? If we're going to say that is a democratic, right, there's a chance we may not win, although we want to win and we want to go strong to win. If we do not win, we have to conduct ourselves in a civil manner and see how best we are going to work along with the party or the individuals that do win. That message has to be resounding. But what we are seeing right now with some of the camps is that they are just preaching this message that is a one-round victory, pumping people up to believe that.
Outside, Puto.
I
agree. I said,
pumping people up.
I agree with you. Yeah,
and not preparing people in the event of if they lose. And not only that, if you win, you got to know how to be able to relate to the people, their friend, because we are all one people. You are not all one party in the country, right? So
if I can add one point briefly. Sovereignty is in the hands of the people. And what I see oftentimes and this is not just in Liberia, I think it's in a lot of African countries, the government is oftentimes an institution where people go to work to accumulate revenue, to accumulate income. And Liberia is very government heavy. The people, and this is not a problem that is just for one person, not one person to blame, but we in a country where people are eating book every day, they're going to LU, they're getting degrees, and they come home to not be able to get a job or to be able to, make a market the way that they want to. We have to really think about our power as a people, and we got to change our mindset around who is responsible for us getting that power, because oftentimes we as a people, we give our power to certain politicians, out of a certain pettiness or like out of, a certain hope that they'll do for us, when in fact, the power is in our hands to do for ourselves. So this election season is very important that the people understand that they have the power in their hands to determine who and it's not just about the actual election. It's about all year round. What are we doing as a people to organize ourselves on the ground to make sure that whatever happens in the Senate or in the executive mansion actually happens? Because we look at these people as gods rather than looking for the God in ourselves. And that's been an African story for a long time. That's a product of colonialism, where we are just putting, they buy you a bag of rice, they go to, they go to your county, and then you vote for them, and then that's it. It can't be like that anymore. We have to be more politically mature. And in addition to what Putu said about peace, I would encourage our people to be very mature politically, to be active, to study their candidates, to be very sure about who it is that they want, so that when they're voting, it's not about favors, but it's about who they absolutely believe is capable of doing the job. It's not a popularity contest. It's about people taking back their sovereignty and being very serious about using their vote and their power.
Thank you, Bwaka. Just before we open the lines, I just wanted to re-echo what Putu said, and that's very interesting. All of the political sides, whether it is the major opposition, whether it is the government, like Putu said, nobody is preparing the people mindset or the people thought process for in case if we don't win the elections, right? Say if I'm Joseph Bwaka, we are not telling our people if we don't win the election. If I'm George Weah, we are not telling our people if we don't win the election, let's unite our people and let peace reign. Nobody is saying anything in that regards. You understand what I'm saying, Bwaka? Like Putu said, everybody is saying one round victory. Nothing more, nothing less. I want to be declared the victor of this process. Everybody is going in to win, and that's fine. You can have that attitude of everybody going in to win. But in that same regards, we should also be conditioning our supporter and tailoring their mindset to say, hey, we all Liberians, whatever the results, if the elections are free, fair, and credible, we should all, unite our people and preach a message of peace. But nobody is doing that. All of us now is more so political, and Liberia is all we have, Bwaka.
Yep. So, and Sam will let me give her a little understanding about you guys doing a peace song, and I do have the song here, but I know that's one of the fastest way to reach out to the audience is through music, letting the people know that, oh, you guys stand for peace. Give a little bit about information about this song and how people been responding, how Liberian people been responding to the song, and most especially for your initiative, bringing people together, turning number peace. How been it respond like for Liberian people? How are they been responding to you guys?
Well, we know that, Liberian artists have been choosing sides over the last few months. We got artists going towards the incumbent. We got other artists that might be supporting the other standard bearers. And this song in particular is about peace, because peace is the ultimate candidate in the entire race. And, the message is a message of unity, which has been a consistent message all throughout the Liberia Heals Initiative, which Brother Putu has spoken to. So the message has been consistent from day one. There's been a lot of grassroots support, not only in Liberia, but also in the diaspora community in the United States. Once the brother comes on, I can have him speak more about it, but it has gotten a big reception, only because of that message of unity, which is very important. And here comes Brother Jaws right now, who can speak more about it.
We are getting some, but let's take our brothers. Good morning, welcome. We are getting a feedback from your end. That's why I'm coming in and out. So, welcome to the show, Evangeline. Hello,
Josh, hearing us? You can go ahead and tell us.
Yes.
I think they're having delay in transmission. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a little delay from that end. But let me just play a few bars of the song, then we'll open the phone line. A lot of Liberians want to participate. There's a great initiative, but let's listen to the song.
We're here to promote peace for everybody. So just go and vote for your number 5. Liberia is supported by peace-loving citizens all over. That's why we not take no money from no party.
Look at that. Shapuga Fino. Never lady I see you. Need your one on the beat. AG. Election, I'm on your sense and I'm on your sense and oh, election, I'm on your sense and I'm sending the door. Election, I'm on your sense and I'm on your sense and oh, election, I'm on your sense and I'm sending the door. I'm sending the door. I'm sending the door. I send in the door. God, look up. Election, I tell you, Liberia is now at the power. Election, I tell you, election, upon their people, get out of the Let's look, I was so riding paper 17. Can't of video with tires falling, said no to war. Let's work on the team. Let's put away our political differences. Like unity be the key for the dream. I turn out to be this, I say we just say we made. Don't follow the crowd. They see one I tell you he good and tell you he bad. I turn out for other be the rise from the throne, jump best. If you come on no time for the free woman, move to the barrier class. Better conscious, I know you feel it. You just play your part in God. Success is sure. Don't stop, don't stop, don't stop. Don't stop, don't stop, don't stop. Don't stop. Election, I'm on your sense and
all right, so I promise we'll be playing this song over here on the Costa Show because that is sending a message of peace, and this is all we need right now. So Dalinto, you listen to the song. I think it's interesting though.
So Putu, what's the beginning? Is that Basel? Is that Basel line?
Yes, it's a Basel line. We're saying election. It's everybody business. We all must be involved. We all must be involved. So we got the challenge too that depending on your vernacular, your background, if you Gil, you Grebel, wherever you're from, y'all translate it. Y'all go on Instagram, TikTok, and say election, that everybody business. So that's the challenge that we are initiating, but it's initially started with the Bassa. That's your Shepherd. He was there wherever live. I think they were just on a little while ago, but they got cut off. And yeah, it's actually a video. I don't know when.
Will you guys be going to Monrovia and hosting these little, campaigns around, the country to inform our people?
Definitely, it's already been happening, but we definitely need help and the support of the people. So I put the cash out there.
I think public a private corporation should probably support these kinds of initiatives, and it's unfortunate that we're going to election and we don't see a lot of investment, from what is the private sector about peace initiative, because if there's no peace, there's not going to be an economic climate for you to do your business. Like
yes,
sell NTM, like Orange Liberia, these companies, these are efforts they need to look into, because like you said, and Putu, just before you left, I mean, political people will always be political people, right? They will come and tell you we in the interest of our people, blah, 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 and black. Everybody want to be, and like you said, whether it's the major opposition, whether it's the ruling establishment, whether it's other political parties, everybody is talking one-round victory, right? Nobody is telling our people that, hey, we want one-round victory, but if the elections are free, fair, and credible, if we don't win, we all Liberians, and let's unify our country. We are not hearing those kinds of messaging, and I thought to point that out too, like you said, Putu.
Indeed. I mean, it's a very simple message that if we really believe in democracy, if these leaders really believe in democracy, Just like in the Bible, when you have the story of Solomon and the baby, where the ladies were trying to say that that my own baby there, that my own baby there. What ended up happening? You know, they say, all right, the woman who said, you know what, for the sake of the life of the Liberia, for the sake of the baby life, if you say you're gonna kill it, just take it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
But put it out to be out in political struggle. Yeah, I really legend and when you kill Solomon Wisdom say, you're just keep the cat. No, what?
That's how we would know. We say, damn, but that man, that different one. That's how you can even win people on because they see that you are putting the country first. That's how you win people over, but you just fixated on power. You know, and if your way, the highway.
The sad thing about democracy in our country is the reason why I think it's a do or die mission, because some people see it as employment opportunity and not an opportunity to serve. That's why when we come to power, the first thing we want to do is to increase our salaries, right? Instead of serving our people. I think that's why expectations can be high.
I also want to let people know that we are also connected. If you look at the end, that's actually a video. That song there is on YouTube. You type One Republic is there, and we hope that you can show the actual video sometime. You show all the stuff that we've been doing. But we actually there's actually some new technology out there. Technology is the thing that can advance nations and move societies forward. There's actually new technologies out there that are going to help to make things like elections and voting more transparent and more credible. One such technology is the thing that they call blockchain technology, and we're connected with technology with a African blockchain called Akabulium that Liberian people need to hear about or will be hearing about. But these are technologies that are helping move other countries around the world further and create more transparent elections and things like that. And I also want to recognize 3D, etc., which is another company that is helping to support our efforts. It has to do with solar power, 3D printing, helping with construction, all of these. So there's a lot of things that we have behind the scenes, but we need peace.
We're going to hold you guys there. We're going to increase the show to maybe 15 more minutes. We're going to open the line so we all can interact with the callers together. And we probably the show is always open. I mean, we can always pop in. You guys can always let us know when you want to come on. And we can also always talk about peace initiative, because all our job we do here, like Bweka and myself, we come here, we lambast, provide alternative option. You know, sometimes we're never, peaceful to ourselves. We need these more kinds of vibes to tell our people, because again, we all want Liberian. We go to Liberia, we don't want to meet a country that is so raged, with anger. We want to meet loving people as we always been, eating my potato grain rice and my fufu and soup.
Yeah. Correct.
All right, so we'll open the phone line now, folks. If you are listening, the phone line to call, you already know, is +231 888 624171. Those in the diaspora, +231 888 624171. You can call on the local line if you're back home here. That's 0770 102 102. 0770 102 102 886 010383. Now we'll take our first caller here this morning. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning. 010383.
Yeah,
good morning.
Lower the receiver now. Lower the receiver. Listen to me through your phone. Welcome. Your name is Johnny us from.
Yeah. I'm Ibrahim. I'm calling from New Jersey. I just want to say thank you for this platform, and I want to say thank you to you, Bwakai. And also to the to those that are in studio, that are coming to preach to our people or maybe say whatsoever they are saying. I mean, I'm very happy to hear this song. This song is a Bassa vernacular, but I think we need to spread it up and just what the other guy is saying. It should go all over, for people to say, but. However, this election is one of the important elections in our life. So we want to ask everybody, those who are saying, they're going first round, second round. I think last night, I came across something that I even want to tell you guys is that I learned that the CDC have a website there where you can go and sell your voter card. And after you vote, then when you go in the booth to vote, when you put your card in, we say you already voted. So I hope the politicians are looking up to it to see the website. It should not be overlooked because people are talking about one round, and you people should look. You should look at that. You should really make sure that you look up for this website. So thank you very much for this time. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. We take some more call. Plus 231 888 624171 0770 102 102 86 010 555 102 102. We are talking peace here this morning as we head to the elections. You know, the tension is so packed, and Liberians, this is the only thing that we can do. No matter what our political party that win, is all about peace. That's all we are yearning for. So we stay anticipating your calls, keep them coming in, and be live with us this morning on the Costa Show. We have huge Liberia. So we will pin their cash app number. Some folks are asking for their cash app number. They want to send something. So Darlington, here we are. The last time we experienced some things happening among partisans of both political party, the United Party and the CDC. There at Vamuma, there was severe, wounds on both parties and a lot of other people. Yeah, so the tension was packed. But before we go there, let's take this person. Good morning, welcome. Your name is joining us from?
Hi, this is Georgia Davies. I'm calling from Austin, Texas. Yeah, first of all, we Liberians, we need to stop the travel listings. That's the only way Liberia will move forward, like that man said this morning. Because people leave from here, goes to Ghana, the Ghanaians, the people don't look at them to say, oh, they cannot speak their dialect. And whatsoever. But Liberia is a different story. When you can speak right now, they call it Communist Party, CPP, Congo People Party, all those kind of things. How will move forward? We cannot move forward with these kind of talks that we talking. It's not right. Okay? So that's the first thing. We need to do better. Everybody takes sides. And that's what's going on. And that's wrong. We need to look for the issue. Who can move that country forward? It's not because you love somebody or because the person be in power or because the person got a tribe, you vote for them. No. That's not what we need to do.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. It's a powerful message, Darlington.
Yeah, she's right. I mean, she's right.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So we still taking your calls. Keep them coming in. Plus 231 888 624171. And Brother Putu, this message of peace. Have you guys started reaching out to other, media institutions, most especially in the counties? Moreover, it's not just
radio stations and stuff, right?
Yeah, community radio station to send out this message.
Definitely. We have been doing it. The challenge for us sometimes is that this is a grassroots initiative, and we know that the different radio stations over there, to get on the program, is some money that has to be paid, and this money, that low money funds that we have, I'm one of the main supporters of this effort here in the States. I support our people on the ground. We have so many different people on the ground, and we have to be very creative in where we go and where we put our funds at. So as people support the effort, we'll be able to take this message and be able to, give a little something to the radio stations and the people who are on the platform. Of course, if there are radio stations out there who would like to be sponsor and just say they want to promote the message and have us come on, we'll embrace that. we feel this is something that everybody should contribute to in whatever way. Some people can contribute through money. Some people can contribute through their platform. Some people can contribute just lending their voice, but we strongly urge people to invest and to support this cause, because it doesn't matter who wins the election. If Liberia becomes unstable, we'll all be regretting it.
Yep.
And we have the ability to spread that message from the grassroots level to all the so-called Zogos, the former child soldiers. These are some of our people who we work with all the time for years. We have influence, but we need to have people give them little food sometime when we evangelize into them and talking to them. We need to be able to show them, transport them from different places from point A to point B, and we need help. So we thank anybody who will be supporting the Liberia Heals Initiative. We will, if you would like to remain anonymous, let it be known. But we, in the interest of transparency, we want to be able to publicize their name and recognize you for supporting the cause leading up to the election as well.
Okay, so that's the Cash App. That's the Cash App info. The printer up there. So we have somebody on the line with us this morning. Good morning, welcome.
Good morning, Baka. This is Lucy calling from the US. I especially want to appreciate this you guys for taking out their basic schedule to educate our people. I must appreciate you guys. And I want to speak on the girl that was about that attempted murder. It makes me sick from my stomach. Because I live in the US, I know it seems happy, but it don't go away easily. So I'm urging the government of Liberia or the justice system to please look into the case and let that girl get justice. Because I'm sitting here wondering how many people have been abused by that guy. I don't know. We don't know. That probably not even the first time. Yeah, probably been abusing people. If they only go where he live right now and ask people going to speak out. So I'm pleading for justice for that girl because I'm a woman. Okay. And I know where I live right now. It don't happen like that easily. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Well, it was about the previous conversation we're having. Yeah, but she also said that you guys are doing an amazing job to talk about the issue about peace in Liberia. So the Cash App info is up there, as you can see. Liberia Hills, that's the Cash App info. If you want to chip in a little thing to push up this initiative, this is not about them. It could be you, it could be a family member tomorrow, it could be my family member tomorrow, it could be me. So if we don't preach the message of peace, maintaining the peace in Liberia, there will be no Liberia. So we have to keep pushing the message of peace, reaching out to people, reaching out to the youthful generation. Even though we have the youthful generation, the issue about drugs is taking over, but there are still people there that are waiting to listen to the voices of people that are sending out the message of peace. So we are just trying to reach out to you today. That's the Cash App info there. If you chip in any little thing, so they can carry out the initiative as we head to the October 10th election. Darlington?
Well, I think for us, I mean, we are interested in peace talk. So our platform, again, you always reach out to Boyka. We just let us know any new development that you're having. If we can even do it maybe once a week, maybe if it's bi-weekly, because I mean, maybe by October we can do like, one time a week, every time to inform our people using our own platform, to talk messages of peace so we can inform our people, please. And like these guys said, is these things cost, it costs a whole lot. And that's why I was asking them about, private entities. It's not just with the Liberia Hills or the Pan-African, a project. It's just about, even there are other civil society organizations, even private entities investing in messaging of peace. I think we should take interest in that because election bring about tension, even this political thing, your brother supporting party A, supporting party B, political rivalry and stuff. I think we should all love our country and we all want Liberians. I think.
Let's take our last call on the line now. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning. How you doing, Bogai?
I'm doing pretty well. Sheikh, welcome to the show. You're live with us this morning.
Yeah, thank you very much, Bogai. Good morning, and then good morning to Darlington, and good morning to the studio guests. Well, I just want to extend thanks and appreciation to the musicians in there. I mean, they are taking a great initiative in maintaining the peace in our country. I think Liberia needs this most from our musicians. They should have been actually the road that our musicians were to play instead of siding with either members of the opposition, either members of the ruling establishment.
Yep.
But I want to say thank you. And you guys continue. We're definitely going to see how best we can support the Liberian people with support. Because peace is all we are yearning for. Despite our diversified political opinions or affiliations, I think at the end of the day, we are all Liberians. And then this election is very crucial. I think from the inception of the campaign, there have been some violence. So I think the best thing is to conscientize Liberians out there about maintaining the peace despite our political difference. So I want to say thank you. And then please do me a favor, or Baka, do me a favor. I'm driving right now, so I'm not able to pick up the cash app number. Just text it to me so that I can be able to do my contribution quickly. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Sheikh Sako there. So guys, we will have to wrap it up. We are already out of time. So Darlington, if you have something to say before we wrap up, or you just want for them to conclude from their end, which one?
Yeah, they can use the rest of the time and conclude, and then we're fine.
Yeah. So Putu, you can start up. Then we'll cross over to Sam.
I want to first give thanks and praises to the to God, most high God, for this day. I would like to thank you all, Boyka and Darlington, and the whole Costa Show for having us on this platform, to bring this very, very important message. And we hope we thank the listeners and those who called in, those who didn't call in, who wanted to call in. We strongly encourage you to please support this effort. The same way sometimes we support our political parties. When it comes to peace, sometimes we put it under the rug, but that's the most important thing that we need at this time. So the Cash App is there. Next time we're gonna have the mobile number for those who want to support, who are in Liberia, who don't have Cash App.
For Martha Judge, who was the first person who asked for the Cash App, she said she needed Zelle information too as well, if you have Zelle.
Okay, we don't.
If you have Zelle, I can type the number on the live feed here for her.
Okay. We like to, because the Cash App keeps the the record, everything is more. But I will, if you guys have a Zelle and then you can forward it, we could do that. We will put a number.
You can just inbox Boyka or inbox me. I'll give you my number, and then we can forward it to the guys. In that we can also do that.
Yeah. So definitely for those who are abroad, here's an opportunity to support something, and then you will see our progress. Social media, not just you get your money, you don't see where it goes. We have stuff on YouTube. Liberia Youth has been doing this for years. And maybe next time when we come on, we can recognize the people who supported, since the last time we were on, and let them know what we have, what we are doing there. It's very, very important, and we just thank y'all for supporting this very important cause.
Thank you, Putu.
All right, thank you so much, Bodon. Let me say, Putu. We are awaiting Sam. I don't know. He just dropped up the line there, but folks, this is what we've been into this morning, talking peace, preaching the peace message. If Sam is not with us, there's our brother trying to Jazz been trying to get in, but his line, his connection,
we out of time today.
So thank you so much, Putu, for coming on, and Sam. It's a great initiative. We will set up a time. George will let you guys know when next we'll bring you on. As we head to the election, we need to keep pushing the message. So thank you so much for coming in. Let's cross over to Sam. Let Sam wrap it up from his end. Sam, you want to wrap up from your end?
Yes, I just dropped my phone number for the Zelle. So
beautiful.
Okay.
Excellent.
All right. And the key.
Sam already dropped his number for the Zelle. We're about to add that too as well.
So once again, just thank you so much for allowing us to be on the program. It was a very great conversation. Liberia has a bright future. Unity is the solution, and sovereignty is in the hands of the people. You know, if the people become more educated, as they already are, and they trust themselves to vote with their conscience, you know, rather than any trivial things, then we'll be better as a people. And I'm looking forward to talking to y'all more. You know, thank you so much.
Okay, folks, so that's the Zelle number there. You can see it. That's +2 +1 023 066 294. That's the Zelle number. Those are asking for it. First, we pin the Cash App number. Let me see the Cash App info now. Is the Zelle number. If you can reach out any amount, just
So
help.
Zelle basically just use the 202. Just leave the one.
Yeah,
you know, just 202. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it, folks. Darlington, you want to wrap up from your end so we can move on?
Well, I mean, we already wrap up. Putu, you guys are very welcome on this platform. I think it's a great initiative for us to talk about peace and to continue to enlighten our people, you know, about these peace, you know, talks. With Liberia is all we have. Thank you, and it's bye-bye from my end.
All right, so folks, we wrap it up on today's edition of the show. Join us that's on Monday. I'm saying tomorrow. On Monday we'll be back here, but you can see the Cash App. Let me say the Zelle number is pinned out there. You can reach out to them any amount that you can contribute to them so they can carry out their initiative smoothly. So, folks, Monday we'll be back here. Boakai Amara Kamara is my name. Darlington Collins, we've been here talking the peace, and peace is all we need from now till the end of the election. Join us Monday. For now, is bye-bye from our end.